I can see your comments before I go live, you weirdos. How are we all doing today? God, it's been warm, hasn't it? It has been warm. And truly, there's nothing more British than complaining about the weather. But yesterday being like 35 or whatever it was, and then today being 30 has been just too much. Just an affront to my sensibilities. At least to like, it's dropping down to low to mid 20s next week. Oh wait, hold on. If it stays like this, it's going to be 18 degrees next Thursday. Now, 5 days out, more than 5 days out. I'm not sold that that's how it's going to remain, but we'll see. We'll see. Didn't start exactly on time. Shame, shame, shame. All right, I'll go then. I'll leave you to your boring workday, Corathon. Yeah, that's right. I saw your other message. Evening existence. Good to have you back. Obviously you're in a lot of the streams, but it's good to have one of your lists in this evening. Because I'm making daily videos. Your wife's giving you shit because you listen to me more than her. I feel like there's a middle ground here. You can probably stick me on in the car or something like that. Me and American units. That's really cold. Indeed, indeed. Nice. You bought some coaching. Want to win some games at your next tournament? Looking forwards to it. Fantastic. If you're the person I'm thinking of, I sent you a message on Patreon. Let me just double check there hasn't been anyone else in recently. Patreon has stopped sending me emails for some reason, which is driving me absolutely nuts. I don't understand why it's doing that. But let's have a look here. Yeah, if your name is James, then I sent you a message a few days ago. Did I get the government alert? I did, yeah. My phone shrieked at me and it was like, hey, wildfires. And I was like, I know. I've been telling you. It's pretty warm. Evening, Leith. Finally plucked up the courage to submit a list so it can be torn to shreds. I feel like I'm very positive in general, right? I tried to couch my criticism in a positive manner. I try anyway. Yeah, no worries, man. I honestly, I didn't realize you'd signed up for a week or so apologies for that. But yeah, respond at your leisure. Don't worry about it, and we'll book in. Remind me your Discord username on the when you reply to my message as well, and I can get your channel set up. Positive when it doesn't come to the weather. Yeah, absolutely. Positive when it doesn't come to the weather. If you're here and you haven't already, give the stream a thumbs up, please, and also thank you. Helps me get picked up by the algorithm. It's a little bit of a slower start today. I feel like we're settling into the new normal post FAQ now. Although, actually, you know what? We haven't even had the Hordes of Chaos book released. The problem with doing this sort of content is that you very quickly burn through all of it. Like, the amount of hours I've spent looking at the new stuff, it's old to me, but it hasn't even been formally released, so it does burn the candle a little bit there, more than I'd like it to. I'm also thinking about various bits and pieces I can do. I've been wanting to diversify for a while. Not necessarily this channel, but like, create a secondary channel. Been looking at things that I could pick up. But it's there are various things that interest me, but finding the one that I want that is also worth doing is the problem. Like, I'd love to have like a More Time channel and just become, spend 10 hours a week thinking about More Time, but I don't think that's something that's going to help. That's not a business strategy that is going to be worthwhile. Trench Crusade, though, on the other hand, that I'm having like an introductory look at, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I remember one of my lists getting to see me after school. Yeah, but Dave, you keep doing things deliberately to wind me up. Now, to be fair, that one might not have been, but you do talk about merworms every time you're in chat. The problem, so being recognized in a streamer's chat is both good and bad, because it's good on the basis of you've got that little bit of like the screen relationship, you'll chat, but then bad because they'll remember the dumb things you say, and you might be knowing that they're dumb things, but they'll go into a bank and you'll be like, ah, yes, oh, you always pick on me. Dave, you're the Murmur man. I've got that locked and loaded, ready to go. Did the demo for Trench Crusade at Adepticon 2 years ago. It was neat. Nice. Can't wait to put a BSB in a unit of War Dancers. That is, genuinely, I think, a very good thing to do. The problem is points. I love to shout out Infinity, but Infinity is a much smaller game than any Games Workshop game. Yeah, that's the problem, right? There are things, because when you make a channel and make content about a game, because it is work, you definitely enjoy the game less. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy Old World, I still really like it, but it's not, I don't enjoy it as much as I did. Like when I had a job, I'd sit at work thinking about all the Old World stuff I wanted to do, and then you get back home and then you fit the hobby time into your busy day. Whereas when your job is to do Old World, I spend my day being like, can't wait to, I don't know, play some League Classic or something like that. The list you submitted as a War Dancer BSB unit. Did we get that far down? I'm not sure. I actually don't remember if we have any... Yeah, I'm not sure if I got down that far, unfortunately. There might not be any Wood Elves in this one, which is a shame, because we do like Wood Elves. Evening Ives. But, yeah, I don't really have many life updates yet to submit. Oh, if you submitted an Ingood list, then I probably did, because there's 3 Ingood lists. Let me have a look. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Might not have got that far down, unfortunately. Third fix your list in a row. You've made kebabs for dinner. It's not good health yet. No, that's probably... Well, I mean, I didn't do a fix my list last week. So theoretically, you've had 3 kebabs over a month. That's not too bad. Like, that's fine, right? Nothing wrong with having a treat now and then. Not a licensed health professional, but that seems like a reasonable rate. When your hobby is your job, it becomes a job, and hot a hobby. Very true. Very true. Most of the game's content creators, I know I have jobs and do the YouTube stuff as a side thing. Yeah, a lot of people do that. All right, I think we should start with some of the lists. Let's get into some of the lists. What do we got? Let's start with Existence list, because I saw Existence was in chat. So, list for some Battle March games with the new Warriors of Chaos stuff. Main restriction is no magic missiles in any form. That's a fun restriction. So 750. The thing that catches me out is the risk, like how many points you can spend on each thing. Obviously, because it's, Battle March here, it will warn us, but when I'm thinking about it, I forget. So 750. How many points can I spend in core? 35%. My brain is so cooked today. The excessive heat is not doing me any favors. 262 points is what we can go up to theoretically, but we probably don't need to do that. And then obviously got 185-ish points for the aspiring champion, or just characters in general. Okay. So, what do we got here? I mean, all of this looks good. Ooh, a gigantic spawn in Battle March? That is brutal. I guess 750 points, you're able to do that. Wow. Okay, this is just a wall of aggression. So, we'll start with a champion, who is Demonic Mount, no other upgrades. You've just gone shield, heavy armor. How many points is it to go up to an exalted champion? I think you can do it, right? Demonic Mount, Great Weapon Shield. That puts you at 166. Oh, okay. You can only have one per 1,000. Is it the Chosen? The Chosen are the thing that you have the restriction on. Okay. Okay, fair enough. That is pretty fair. You're still 3 wounds with 3 attacks. Like, you're not bad. You're not bad. It's just a little bit of a shame to give up on the fact that you've got like a midway hero that's as good as other factions Lord level heroes. Chaos Lords. Too many points. Way too many points. I don't know why I thought that was going to work. Okay. So what are we looking at? So you've got the three chosen with drilled, undivided, two dragon ogres. So you've got like two. Yeah, theoretically, this is an anvil, but it's also a hammer. You've got this as a real hammer. Gigantic spawn. I think this just looks good. Like, the thing that you could change theoretically is you could change the warriors. 200 points of them is kind of steep. I'm not going to tweak this list. I think it's good. I will say Battle Hunger is better at this points level. I think generally I like the concept of Battle Hunger, but it doesn't actually come up all that often. And you can also obviously pair it with, you're probably aware, the Taskmaster Scourge to give you the additional D3 inches of movement, so you can start doing really long charges. But I think this is fine. So your list is fine. I'm not going to link it again. We've just got a list that works. The spawn is the 0 to 1 per 1,000 points. The chosen just 0 to 1, so they don't count. Oh, yeah, no, of course, that makes sense. All right, yeah, we're definitely not putting Exalted Champion instead of the spawn. But yeah, no, I like this. But if I was doing this, I'd probably go, just for the sake of bodies, like this. Light weapon shields, got close order, give them unnatural fortitude. Like, maybe even go down to 16 and add a unit of Marauder Horseman or something like that. You know, this is the direction that I'd go in. Like, 5 with flails. How many points does this come up to? Unnatural fortitude. And then skirmishers, or you wouldn't be able to do that. I'm actually less in love with the Marauder Horsemen if they're not skirmishers. So maybe you just go like this, go for the 20, and you could go like War Banner, something like that, and then you just drop down to 18 models. But that's like such a niche, like, minor change, I think. 12 warriors versus 18 marauders, you're gonna get relatively similar effects. Too many eggs in one warrior basket? No, I think they're fine. I think they're fine. Like, this is a list that isn't super concerned about scoring. You're more trying to, like, get your opponent, right? And you've got a lot of tools to do so. Is Battle March not limited to the 50% max units on a single unit? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I guess maybe, and it's just not been updated here. That's a good point. So, if that's the case, putting it back to 12, and you went, I don't even know if you had full command. Give them Battle Hunger. Okay, so you did a full command. 12, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this would be illegal if that's the case. I guess it's just a core rule, right? Or is it added to the... I'm going to have to double check. Unit strength 20 is the only max that I can think off the top of my head. So that is a Battle March specific change. But let me just have a very quick look on... I can't remember. So here's the thing. I can't remember if it's a core FAQ or if it's a match play FAQ. It might be a match play FAQ, at which point it obviously wouldn't be in effect here. Let's just go... It's a match play guide change. Okay, so it doesn't affect Battle March, so you're absolutely fine. Yeah, you're completely fine there. Karam says, traveling with Amy to go see our favorite close order presenter. Don't be boring or she will fall asleep. I assume Amy's driving, so yeah, her falling asleep would be a not good thing. That would be terrible. Yeah, no, I like this. I probably would still go with Marauders over the core, just to, like, try and squeeze a bit more pressure out. Also, like, I just don't love the Aspiring Champion. It's fine, but I'm just not... Honestly, for the points level, T4, 3 wounds is solid, but, like, maybe you give it, like, one of the new upgrades, like the plus movement and attack upgrade for 15 points. But then you're like cutting points here. So yeah, maybe you'd be like 15 Marauders and then just like juice the champion slightly. But yeah, like I said, this is a good list. I don't really have any criticism. Like, I'm already going into like really sort of minutia here as opposed to having to change the whole thing. So yeah. Also, in terms of the models, you could just run that from the core box plus a gigantic spawn, I guess. So like you just get to use all the new stuff, which is pretty cool. No, no, no. If you're playing in a setting where running that is acceptable, because that's very powerful, and that might be above the power level of what people are expecting to play. If you're playing like an intro beginners event, that would be a bit rude. But if you're playing like a tournament where people might be bringing like, I don't know, Shigengan Lords or whatever. No, Shigengan Generals, I think, are the lower level ones. The naming convention on the Shugs drives me nuts. But yeah, theoretically, people could run a Shug at 750 points very comfortably. So yeah, I think it's very good. It's going to be very difficult for people to deal with. Might be a bit good, fair point. Okay, so in that case, if you need to tone it down, you could drop this. This goes to an Exalted Champion, which the Exalted Champion is good, but it's not good in a way, in my opinion, that is a problem. You're just like, man, that character's a real beater. That's going to run around 164. So we actually don't really have points to put much else in. I wonder, is it right to go for a magic weapon here? Ooh, how many points is... Slightly annoying that they haven't added the new items here. And I understand that it's a fully volunteer thing, right? I don't believe that Old World Builder makes much money from it. Like, I think they have these two partnerships that I hope they get some sort of kickback from, but it's just a really good free tool. I don't think they make any money from it. Or don't make, like, a significant amount of money from it anyway. Yeah, the new items here. So, I mean, Demon Blooded Steed, you're only leadership 8, which does make the Impetuous a little bit of a problem. Yeah, anyway, weapons. No, all the weapons are a little bit expensive here. Okay, you could very comfortably just go Great Weapon and just cleave through and be pretty happy with that, right? So here I'd probably go none of these. Like, I'm just not going to bother with any of this, right? Make it the general. And then you need a second character. At which point here I'd probably put in... Sorry, you don't need a second character. You need more points was what I was saying, but not... The brain wasn't braining. Throwing axes. We can't give them skirmishes. Oh, no, we can't because we've made it the... whatchamacallit? Like, if they're not in ambush... Not in ambush, sorry. If they're not in skirmish, how much do I care about it? Chosen don't have a rule that lets them all challenge. No, that's correct. Okay, so I probably wouldn't put a unit champion on there. This character could gain a mark. Mark of Nurgle is honestly pretty brutal. Like, when your weapon skill 6 at 750 points, Mark of Nurgle is pretty brutal. And then we just lose, like, the unit champion on the Horseman or something like that, and then you've got 5 points. Oh, we haven't got... Oh, there we go. That's something. You didn't have any Favors of the Gods on your character before. So here is a version that is tuned down, but still pretty good. I would say, as long as you don't have power level concerns, your version is better. Just make sure you've got a Favor of the Gods in there. Excited for Old World Builder to get the new items up. Yeah, I think a lot of the new items are like very interesting to play around with. So me too. Whether thought it'd been 4 Khorne Knights, well, three Chosen Knights, slap. 4 Khorne Knights, get Frenzy Baited, and then don't do anything. Would be my point there. Demon Blooded Steed on a Ripper Skink Chief. That could be fun. Could be fun. Ingu's got a lot of quality of life updates recently. Yeah, that's fair. I just really like Old World Builder, and also I think it fits very neatly on screen. Like, when we tab over to Ingud here, like that, it's a lot harder to get it on screen where the text is of a size that's easy to see. Like, you could probably just about make out on a phone what's going on screen here, whereas for Ingud, you're kind of out of luck. You're welcome, Existence. Good to have you. Always appreciate seeing you. One of the day ones, for anyone who isn't aware. You came over from the 6++ 40k channel, right? Use old world builders to do stuff, and you recruit to upload into Warhol. So I've actually stopped using new recruit for that because I now just use the function where if you have it in your clipboard and you tab back into Warhol, it'll just be like, oh, do you want to copy and paste your list? So you don't even have to use new recruit, which is nice. Which is nice. All right, we're like really heavy on Warriors of Chaos today, so we're gonna spread things out there. I'm gonna try and alternate them because there's so much Warriors of Chaos here. You were heckling me on 6++2. Yeah, I remember. I remember. I think you are probably the oldest, like, I don't know about sub, but like in terms of oldest active subscriber for sure. Anyway, in terms of age of, you know, how long you've been here. Obviously, Callum is the oldest. Callum, the curmudgeonly old man. Right, let's have a look at Paul's list. So Paul is looking at taking a ogres to an event. Legacy. This is Legacy Ogres. It's not Renegades Ogres. Channeling will be optional per round at this event. Normal match play rules and scoring being used like strat location and baggage train. The role of the Butcher is to take the signature spell for the -1 to be hit. Glittering Robes? Yeah, cool. That makes sense. I love how he's like, hey, the level 1 illusion caster, it's so I can Glittering Robes. You may not have picked that up. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So this is for LGT, right? I'm pretty sure this is for LGT. Because I found out today that they're doing something weird, which is the channeling rules will be in effect per player. And if you're using channeling, then you will also get the worst miscast table. But if you're using channeling, your opponent doesn't have to use channeling. And if they don't use channeling, they don't get the worst miscast table. Which feels like a terrible way to do things. You don't, like, if you want to make it optional, which I think is still wrong, just pick a lane. But if you want to make it optional, make people put it on their army list. Because otherwise, you're going to be like, okay, oh, my opponent's got the, you know, the Infernal Puppet or whatever, you know, the Morshard. Well, I guess I'll just use the old casting table and not risk the catastrophic miscasts. Oh, what's that? My opponent's got no wizards. I'll use channeling then. Anyway. So we do have to run the 3 Ogre Bulls. I like giving them the Iron Fist, but I don't know that it's correct. 12 points for +1 to your armor save and the extra attacks. Kind of just feels fine. I feel like it puts them in the realm of maybe doing something. Maybe I'm wrong, but T4 with a 5-up armor save is like durable enough to shrug off a fireball once. Like the second one sucks, but you've got like you'll have like 2 models left after the fireball goes through usually. Anyway, that's not really important here. However, you have gone very heavy on the Gnoblars, and you've gone for a Thunder Tusk, and you've gone Mournfang. Okay, so the big problem you're going to have, Paul, is if you're going to LGT, they are playing cannons as hit scan, which is like technically correct. I think it's a crap way to play. That's not necessarily like a criticism of the event. That's just, I think it's really dull for that to be the case. So I prefer it not to be. But I don't know that the Thunder Tusk is the way to go. I understand that you've got double save here, but you're only 8 wounds with a double save, a 5-up, 5-up. I think you just die. I think you just die to 4 cannons, and I don't think that helps. Which, like, I guess there's a level of, like, you just throw enough stuff at the wall with the Mournfang Cavalry and you'll get there. But I really wonder if it's just not full commit into the Iron Guts and say, let's go. Also, you could bring your own... you could bring your own Iron Blasters, which are obviously cannons. Are they large targets? It's not large target that catches the cannonball. It's the monster rule. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I said that like I was reading a comment. There was no comment that said that. I was responding to myself in my head. It has been a very long month. We're only 14 days in. Okay. So, general premise, I don't think I would go the version where you're running monsters. I think there's going to be a lot of cannons. Given that it's LGT, and they're running, like, very light comp, I believe it's been a little while since I've looked. I'm obviously not going. It's the same weekend as the WTC, if I remember correctly. But there'll be a lot of people there bringing a cafe. There'll be a lot of gun lines. It'll just be like the best list you can bring in a sort of like light restriction format. So I'm not sold that this gets you there. If I was doing this, I understand that Grot is good, and it gives you additional consistency in terms of getting your spell off. However, you're going to an event that's letting you use the channeling rules. Just use the channeling rules. Take the lore familiar. Maybe take a power scroll as well. Like, if you want to make sure you're getting stuff off, just go lore familiar 2 power scrolls. I know you don't get the consistency of, like, I can do this every turn, but between the power scrolls and the channeling dice, I think this is worthwhile. Hellheart is a 1-turn more shard. Get that in. Yeah, honestly, true. Good shout. Good shout. That is... it's an arcane item, though, is the problem. This would be really nice to fit in, but I actually quite like the Tome of Spellcraft Illusion Butcher that's there purely to give glittering robes to the unit. You don't have to put it in every turn, but, like, I do like that. I do like that. Trench Crusade, really fun. Best played in the campaign. I'll keep that in mind. It does have that sort of more time feel to it. You know what? I'm gonna fully change the list, Paul, as to what I'm saying. If I'm wrong and this is not for LGT and actually all of the things that I'm saying do not apply, fair play. Well, you know, you got me. So here, normally I'd go Talisman Protection, but let's go Meteoric Iron because you're going to cast on the unit with Elementalism anyway. This is good. I don't think you need the Spangle Shard because you're going to cast Earthen Ramparts on the unit anyway, so we can probably just drop the Spangle Shard and give it a decent set of armor. Honestly, the full plate's not awful. Full plate there. Spangle Shard is a 4-up ward until you roll a single 1, which is fine. This is a 4-up armor with a 6-up ward, but you're probably getting a 5-up ward from Elementalism. Do I think it's this, or is there a better armor to go for? Maybe, honestly, maybe it's the Armor of Silvered Steel for the 3-up armor save. All of the good AP in the game is, like, most good AP in the game in melee is AP2. It's rare to go above that, with some exceptions, like Monkey King's Wisdom. But if your Monkey King's Wisdom's, like, in base-to-base with this character anyway, like, you know, you've got bigger problems. Hey, Heathen General. Yeah, so, like, I think maybe armor, like, genuinely, I think this might be the place for Armor of Silvered Steel, which is odd. I love Death Cheater on all of my characters if I can afford to do so. I think it's just such a, like, just a freebie. It's such a shame to lose it. And then we'll go bigger into the Iron Guts. We have a BSB in there. You don't need to be able to re-roll a break test. What's the other one? Demon Slayer Scars? No. This one's there. Jade Line's not bad. I don't know that we need it, though. I don't know that we need... Oh, Veteran, definitely. Worth giving them Veteran as well. Give them Musician. So it'd be 94 points over here. And then I would honestly probably drop the Mournfang. Like, I know I'm completely changing the bulk of the list. This is on a complete read that I'm pretty sure I know the event that Paul's going to. And also I'm fairly certain that Paul won't mind me doing this because I've talked to Paul a lot and I think this is fine. We are very heavy over on points. Is it worth going Glittering Robes here? Also, what you've got the regen and then you've got Monster Tapestry. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's about as good as it gets. Do we need the -1 to be hit? Like, it's cute, but, like, can we justify it? Do we, like, how good is -1 to hit on that unit? Do you not just win your fights anyway? Because you've made it the Death Star? Obviously, I'm changing things up. But this way you can go... You could theoretically go 4 wide if you wanted to, with 2 characters in and the Slaughtermaster nearby. So we'll go up to here, and then we'll just go... why have you got a unit champion? What's the thinking on this? I don't think you need the unit champion. I don't think it's necessarily bad to go for it, but we were over on points, so I'm just going to drop the unit point champions for that. So, yeah, there we go. There's my read is that this is for LGT. For LGT, question mark. Had some thoughts on stream. Roughly, what are we? 20 bins in. Boom. All right. How are we doing? Hey, it's picked up. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming by. Do enjoy these Friday night talk to chat streams. If you're here and you haven't already, please do give the stream a thumbs up. Helps us get picked up by the algorithm. I still need to get a soundboard for that. There might be some soundboard stuff coming. I did a coaching session with a lovely chap who was like, hey, I'm not going to pay for any more sessions, but I could make music for you. I was like, okay, tell me more. What's up, Vesper? How are you doing? Speaking of OGs, Vesper as well. One of the day ones. All right. So we've gone ogres. I think we need to weave another Warriors of Chaos in. I think we've genuinely got that many that we need to alternate here. So I'm going to go for G unit. G unit's Warriors of Chaos list, and this is for a GT. Additional models. They've got 30 Marauders, 3 more Marauder Horsemen, 1 more Knight, Dragon Prince, Demon Prince, Chariot, which could be a character, BSB on Steed, Foot characters. A1 from day one, baby. Hell yeah. Hey, Anthony. How you doing? Okay, so what do we think of this list? You've got a dragon with a build that is fine. I actually quite like this build. The Mark of Tzeentch gives you, like, the flaming attacks are maybe going to be a downside, but very rarely. Giving you that MR1's quite nice, given that you've spent 65 points here on defense, including the favor. How many favors you got on this character? The Chaos Lord is Talisman Carrier, Crow, Levitating. Wait, hold on. What? Isn't Levitating Shield infantry only? I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, you can't have that, unfortunately. Okay. So we need to rebuild the Chaos Lord, but I like the Lord, the Champion, and then the Exalted Sorcerer as well. Like the general premise here is good, I think. Then you've got 5 Chosen Knights, Gigantic Spawn. Cool. Like this is very, the version that I've been playing around with for Warriors of Chaos is 1 Dragon, Chaos Lord on Steed, Exalted Sorcerer level 2, and then Warp Fire Dragon. That's the version. This version is different, but like still hits a lot of those same high points, I think. Hey, Mr. Assyrian. Better late than never. You're only 30 minutes late. There's no requirement for anyone to A, be here at all, or be here on our time. I'm just happy to have you all. Okay, so I think the value of the Chaos Lord in this list is it's very, very good at killing things that your opponents can't deal with. So here you've got an Exalted Sorcerer on foot. Okay. Diabolic Splendor's -1 to be shot, right? You seem quite worried about being shot, because you've got -1 to be shot on the Chosen Knights and on the unit of Chaos Warriors. Is that like a big concern that you're going to have to deal with? I'm not sure I'm super worried about ballistic skill shooting in general, so I would drop this, and I'd go Enchanting Aura instead. Oh, you've got it on the Lord? It is nice on the Lord. I'm not going to complain about having it on the Lord. That is pretty good. But I think maybe you don't need the Diabolic Splendor. We can come back to that one. Also, only being level 1 is a real shame. I'd much rather be level 2, and then not only have Steed of Shadows, but also have Demonic Vessel. And suddenly this unit of warriors, like, if you're charging, or, like, getting the follow-up on your turn, because the Halberds give you +1 strength, plus AP 2 on the charge, you go to strength 6, AP 3 with 3 attacks with Demonic Vessel. And that's just genuinely going to cleave through some front ranks. That's really nice. Enhanced Reflexes is very nice for this unit. Normally, you'd pair it with the Strike's Last Aura, but honestly, you can get away without doing that if you just park your unit 1 inch away from your opponent. You'll be Initiative 6. They're probably baseline Initiative 4, so they're Initiative 5. Like, it's very rare that you'll be striking after them. You might strike simultaneously, but you're going to rack up some points there. Okay, so this character, I think I would rebuild. Personally, what I would do is if you have the model, and if you don't have the model, you can go back to the Chaos Steed, but I think the Demonic Mount is now just a clear upgrade because it gives you that +1 wound. You still get the 2-up armor save because of the barding that it's recently gained. The plus attacks are nice, the stomp is nice, but they're not the main thing. The main thing is that you're getting that extra wound, so you're suddenly a T5 model. At that point, I really don't think you need the Talisman of the Carrion Crow. I really, really do like the Ogre Blade here. Ogre Blade and then like 2 Favors of the Gods is just such an aggressive model. You're able to just absolutely cleave through the enemy here. We are over on points. You could probably, like, honestly, you could probably drop the Enchanting Aura. With Countercharge, especially if you're on your own, with Countercharge, you are able to just get in there and wreak havoc because you're base initiative 6. If you're countercharging, you're going to be striking before your opponent most of the time anyway. Like, who's striking at or before you? Like, dragon princes or elf characters? Wild Riders are kind of the only things that come to mind. So as long as those, like, kind of niche units aren't something you're super worried about, you can drop them. We can also drop the Great Weapon here, but we need to make sure we had a shield. And then how many points are we under? So we're 24 points available. So even if we dropped the additional favor, we wouldn't get there. So I'd say second favor of the gods on this dragon. I genuinely think that 2 favors of the gods is like 3 times as good as having a single one, because the second you roll your first stupidity, your first stupidity on the table, you kind of have to stop rolling once you're out of rerolls. Is there anything we can give this character to make them more survivable? I don't think so. I think they just kind of are where they are, and you hope that they don't fall over. Everything here is pretty good. The Marauder Horseman, you've gone flails, light armor shields, ambushes, skirmishes. Yep, just perfect. And then double warhounds as well. Icon of Darkness, Dark Hearts. Yeah, that looks good. I guess the one thing I'd say is you're lacking magic resist in this squad. I guess you've got MR1 from the Tzeentch caster, but if there's not a lot of point in having Tzeentch on there because this unit's undivided. So, like, one thing you could do is you could give them Tzeentch. Maybe that was meant to be in here anyway. If you're giving them Tzeentch, that gets you up to the point where you're actually getting that additional +1 to cast, so you can consistently get the spells off with the Exalted Sorcerer. That's probably worth doing. Like, maybe you even drop one of the Favors of the Gods for a power scroll on this character. You know what? I actually think that's probably, as much as I really like the way that this looks, the double favors, I think we kind of just have to sacrifice one to get the power scroll, so then you can consistently do your plan. Sometimes you'll look at your opponent's deployment and you'll be like, if I get Steed of Shadows off and I put my unit of Chaos Warriors 1 inch away from them, I have won the game. There is nothing that they can do. I'm going to have such a large material advantage. There is no way for them to get out of this position that I have to go for it. And then sometimes you're like, ooh, if I get Demonic Vessel off here, I just kill this Death Star and I do so much damage. So then we have to free up some points. We can drop one of the units of Warhounds. I like them. One unit's good. The second unit's decent, but I'm not super in love with taking 2. You haven't got the Musician on there already. I sometimes drop it if I've got Drilled. And I guess maybe go down to 6 here. I don't love going down to 6, but it's not the end of the world. And then give them throwing axes just so they got something to do when they come in from ambush. It's not super important, but we had some spare points, so that seems like a useful thing to go for. Yeah, I think that's good. That seems like a solid list there. G unit. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Existence advice for this list was it could use more Dragon Ogres. Dragon Ogres are nice. I don't mind them. I think they are good at top points level. They're even better the smaller the game goes. The smaller the game, the gooder the ogres. Dragon Ogres, that is. All right. Let's maybe go to... I tell you what, let's go to Ingood. Let's have our first of the Ingood lists and do something a little bit different. So. Let's go with this one here. We'll look at Big Ives vampire count list. This was for Foray. I think there was some text with this one. Let me just go down. I'm doing the Friday for... Oh, sweet. So Big Ives will be at the Friday TSN Arena Foray event. I'm going to keep plugging these events because I'm going to them. Again, not sponsored, but TSN Arena... if you go to tsnarena.com, there are 4 Foray events. This is their, the equivalent of Battle March, 500-point events. One on Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday, one Monday. I'm going to be playing in all 4 of them. And numbers are up. We've got enough to play every day without issue. But it'd just be nice to see more people. You're a bit biased as I'm literally building some Dragons as I watch. I really like the kit. I had a good time building mine. So, looking at this list here for Friday Foray, they've got some skeletons, got some direwolves, got some black knights, necromantic acolyte, and a white king. This is cool. I like this. So the white king is like the halfway hero. You've got 3 wounds, but you've only got 3 attacks. But you are still strength and toughness 5. I've just clicked something that I shouldn't have done. What is he equipped with? Charm Shield, Hand of Dust. Okay, cool. So the Hand of Dust is a really fun arcane item, although it did get nerfed in the Renegades pack, right? Power level 1, and if it goes off, it's 2d6 strength, 5 hits at AP1. This is honestly, I think, a very solid combat character by the standards of Foray. Your son Josh is going as well. Oh, nice. Well, I will be there. It'll be nice to meet both of you. And yeah, this is very solid. I'd like to see it go back up to power level 2. It definitely won't before weekend after next. But yeah, okay, I like that. I would like to see a weapon on there, but you do still have Killing Blow hand weapon, which is fine. Killing Blow isn't stopped by magical attacks or something like that. That'd be weird. Yeah, no, okay, that's fine. And you have got points to spend. So I'd love to see even just like a biting blade on here, I think would be good. Because then you're strength 5, AP 2, and you're still maintaining your... Well, I guess this way you're getting a 3-up armor save in combat. We'll come back to the white. The Acolyte, level 1, you've got a Scroll of Obfuscation, a Master of the Dead, meaning that they are your Hierophant in terms that we'll all understand. What does the Scroll of Obfuscation do? You can always cast Confounding Convocation. Okay, sure. I personally don't think this is worthwhile. But it's also 5 points. So like, I'm not going to say you shouldn't take this. I don't think that Confounding Convocation is a spell that you'll get much value out of. However, if you're ever going to get value out of it, it is through the lens of you can substitute one of your normal spells for it once per game. And also Battle March is a much closer experience, like in terms of physical distance, that you're more likely to get value out of it. So I'm still not sold, but for 5 points, we can probably leave that in for 5 points. Skellies, full command, 20 of them. Direwolves with a Doom Wolf, and then the Black Knights with Lance Hell Knight, Standard Bearer, Musician. Couldn't find where to spend those last 5 points. That's fair. That's super fair. What I would generally do, I don't know if he's going to be using the new magic system. Like, maybe he's not. That feels like maybe it's a little bit over... Like, the power level of the new casting system might be a little bit odd to introduce to Battle March. But generally, my go-to is just Earthing Rod. It's quite nice. Gives you a little bit of consistency and not getting run over. But yeah, okay. So if you've put it in to fill the points, which I think is fair, maybe I don't feel bad about taking that off and giving the biting blade to the White King. Okay, I think I see the line. Your armor is slightly worse. You're only gonna have a 4-up armor save because you've got a magic hand weapon instead of a regular one. So we're gonna go biting blade here, and we don't have to change anything else. I guess this has to be your general as well, right? Yeah, it is. There we go. Very cool. Oh, we've gone over on points. Is it 135? Is that the... No, it's 125, isn't it? What's a quarter of 500? Okay, you can't go biting blade. Fine, fine. We'll go hand weapon. Your build is good. For, like, you're hitting the points cap. I like the hand of dust, sure. I just really wanted to give it a biting blade as well. Okay, so I think this is fine. I'm not super sold on this unit. Although they do have reserve move, which is really nice. The problem is they're T3 with, like, just a 6-up regen. So I don't think you're going to get too much out of them. But then on the flip side, they're 46 points. And it's a small format game. So that's fine. I think I'd like the Black Knights to be slightly better. And I don't know how you get there. Like, you could give them... Maybe you just give them a banner. Does this have the Battle March banners in here? Like, a once per game plus 1 combat res could be pretty key, frankly. Like, that could be a pretty big thing to go for. The skeletons, you can drop down to 19, because you're going to put the white in there. And then we are... Wait, hold on. How are we not over on points? I've taken 1 skeleton out. I'm sure the list that you sent me was... Oh, yeah, 509. It's up at the top there. Oh, it's weird. It's different down at the bottom. Down here. Oh, both... Like, this is slightly off the thing. Down at the bottom it says 489, and up at the top it says 509. There's some fuckery going on here. So if we drop the Scroll of Obfuscation just to free up some points. And then we go... Honestly, you don't need the unit champion on the Direwolves. I think that's not going to make a big difference. And that puts you at 498 points. I'm just going to very quickly tally this up because I've got 2 things telling me different numbers. I just want to make sure that the number I trust is the right one. Yeah, 498. I think this just gives the unit of Black Knights that little bit more punch. Obviously, it doesn't make them kill stuff more, but you're more likely to win the fight. And because you use it when you want to, you don't have to use it the first combat if you don't want to. And the fact that they've got first charge in there, you can just, like, really put the pressure in and be like, I'm going to send these 5 knights at my opponent's ranked up unit of infantry, and I'm going to win, and that's going to be, like, the big oomph. The Battle March don't... Oh, the Battle March items don't show up now near the bottom. Okay, fair enough. Dave, what's wrong? Dave's lost the plot a little bit. Although that is one of my favourite meme formats. Love me, my mum. Love me, Wall Scroll Builder. 8 Ingood. Not picky, just don't like it. But yeah, no, your list is good. I really like what you've gone for. I think the White King build is very tasty. It's going to be a real pain in the backside to deal with. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write 4 lists because I'm going to this event, obviously, and I'm taking 4 different lists. I've now realized that I'm going to know, like, probably a good chunk of the lists that are going to the event because people will submit them and be like, hey, can you have a look at these? So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to randomize which lists go to which event to stop me from having the subconscious urge to try and counter people's lists, because I don't want to do that. But it's really hard not to subconsciously be, like, teching to beat your opponents that you know are going to be there. So, yeah, I'll write all the 4 lists and then randomize where they're going. That's the solution. That is the solution. Okay. Let's just copy that one. What's your son bringing, Mr. Ives? I've literally just said that I don't want to tech to beat people, and then I'm like, oh, what's he bringing? God damn it. You know what? Let's stay on Ingood for a second because there's 3, so we'll go for another one of the Ingood lists, but we'll go for one of the 2 Chaos lists that are submitted here, and we'll go for Ross's Hordes of Chaos list. Empire, very nice, very nice. I love playing the factions like Empire. I think have a much more fun time in small format games. Basically, the factions that struggle to compete with the monsters and the magic spam have a much better time typically at low level, because you're like, what do you mean? I'm just going to bring 60 normal men. We're just normal men. We're innocent men. Rocky a Hellblaster. Brutal. That is rough. I'm not to say you shouldn't do it. You know, it's one shooting piece in the list. But yeah, if that thing rolls hot, you might see your opponent's list disintegrate in front of them. Feels very sort of like 1800s British Army tactics as they went around the world. Ballistic skill shooting feels better in Battle March too. Yeah, that's probably true. I haven't done it myself. I've only played Tomb Kings and Beastmen, and the Beastmen list I played was bad because I was like, haha, wouldn't it be funny to take these Centaurs? And then I had a bad time. So, yeah. Okay. Right. Oh, wow. Ross's list is... there is a lot here. There is a lot. And I know that Ross put some context in here. So let's have a quick looky-loo. Here we go. Messing around with an almost full ambushing Hordes of Chaos list. Basically dumping 4 +2 to cast summonings in the face from turn 2, or 3 summoning and 1 Viletide, while a 4 brick runs around causing havoc. Okay, so just a brick runs around causing havoc. So that's the gore. I want to try good old Gobblar Liberation in Battle March. That would be brutal. You just wouldn't be able to kill anything. And because they don't panic anything else, you just set them up in layers and you're like... Yes, I will stand on the objectives very early. Why, yes, you won't do anything to me. Checkmate, Mr. Bond. The sad thing, I think, about running ogres in Battle March is it's kind of hard to put compelling characters together because of the points limit. All right, so we've got this gore unit with the Monster Hunter Tapestry, Great Weapon, MR on there as well. So you've got the ambushing Jagged Dagger character here. That makes sense. You've got 3 Cult Magisters, very cool, with Demonology. You've ticked enchanted items and then not taken anything. Okay, that's fine. And then we've got the Bray Shaman. Sure. This looks solid. I think I'd move the Ruby Ring of Ruin because this Great Bray Shaman's going with the gore, right? So it's less likely it might, because you haven't got the reserve move item. You're more likely to have to march because this is a key part here. So let's get rid of the Ruby Ring of Ruin there, and we'll probably just put it on the other Bray Shaman because this is like the second most reliable caster. So let's just do that. In fact, let's just do... Come on, man. You've literally just clicked it. There we go. So that makes sense, just moving that over. Then you've got the Beast Lord, who has full plate Flail of Rex. Flail of Rex is really nice, actually. That's a good point, because you can't fit the very expensive build in there. One of his muscular monstrosity. Is that +1 strength? I'm assuming it's +1 strength. It's not one that you see very often. +1 strength. Not mount. I love how it says not mount. I guess technically you could have a chariot. Because it's +2 strength, but only on the turn you charge. So normally you're strength 6, which makes you strength 8. It's a strength 8 Ogre Blade. Honestly, that's pretty valid. It's hard to argue with that. You've got Slug Skin in the unit. I'd give it you've given it Gnarled Hide as well. I just missed that. Okay. I like the build. That's kind of where I would have ended up as well. And then you've got Marauders who are in Skirmish because you have to run them. That's fair. Then you've got Cultists, Ungors, Truehorn. I think, isn't the restriction on ambushes 0 to 1 per 1,000 points across all of them? I might be being a big dum-dum. It's been a hot minute since I've seen... Maybe I'm thinking of the Wild Herd free ambush that you get. Let's just double check that one. I think actually you're correct and I am remembering wrong, but let's just make sure that we're not doing something stupid here. So Gore, 0 to 1 unit per 1,000 points may have ambushes, and then it's the same for the Ungor. All right, nope, yep, you got it. You have got it. That is allowed. So if you've got this, you've got 1, 2... So you've got Ring of Doom on this character. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, you could put the other ring in. Ring of Doom is nice, obviously, because that's giving you the magic missile bound spell here. What's the arcane item that does the same? Because we could put that on another wizard. How are you doing on character points? You're capped on character points, so you actually can't do that. Okay, and then you've got Wargore, Chalice of Dark Rain, with... You haven't even given him heavy armor. Let's give him heavy armor. And he's got to have a shield as well. Can't be having the Wargore just fall over like a schmuck. Okay, so we'll put that in. I'd like to give you the magic item that gives you the ability to take, Doombolt as well, but I just don't think the points work out in the way that I want it to. So that's fine. Core, you're at 880 anyway, so we probably just drop like one Gore, and then, yeah, the list is legal again. And then Dragon Ogres. I don't know that the Dragon Ogres actually add much to this list. So in terms of drops, you've got the 3 Chaos Cultists, you've got the Gore for 4, you've got characters for 5. Dragon Ogres make you 6. Is there anything else that we can do that's more exciting? I'm not sure there is. I'm not sure there is. Like, honestly, the Chosen... But you can't take them, can you? Because you've got to have a Chaos Lord as your general, or a Chaos character as your general, anyway. A small unit of knights would be nice instead of the Dragon Ogres, but yeah. I actually don't know what I'd put in instead of the Dragon Ogres. Maybe that's just the best thing you can put it in. There's nothing there that's more compelling. All right, sweet. Haven't made much change. I like the idea. I feel like if my one criticism is that 6 drops feels a little bit high, given that your game plan is put so much into reserve. So if you're putting stuff into reserve, then it would be better to have a lower drop list. Like, I don't think you need to go to 6. I think you could drop something. Any value in shifting some cultists to short bows, or are they all ambushing? I missed that. I'd probably give them all short bows instead of the mixed weapons. I am assuming that that's what Ross has planned for them as well, and just didn't click the button. But yeah, short bows would be correct there. What's their leadership? 6. What's the leadership of the Apostle? 7. But then the Magus is probably 7 as well. Oh, 8. Oh, wow. Okay. Leadership 8's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Yeah. This looks solid. But yeah, I think you could drop the casting down just a little bit. Sorry, not the casting, the number of units down just a little bit, and that would work out quite nicely, I think. Cool. Let's move on to another non-Warriors of Chaos list. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lists that aren't Warriors of Chaos and 2 lists that are Warriors of Chaos. Okay, we're doing well. We've allocated our time correctly, so we're not just left with a big bulk of warriors. Okay, let's have a look. It's on the thumbnail. So let's go with Trollhorde. This is Caffeine 4's Trollhorde list. They have an SBC event at the end of the month. You'll be bringing Trollhorde. The TO has allowed the new magic items. As such, my general has Flail of Rex, and my Orc champion has Ring of Doom. That's very cool. Okay, so you've got and also, thank you for putting the name after the unit type, so it's still readable. Appreciate that. So you've got the War Boss with Trollhide Trousers, Charm Shield. Okay, but you haven't got... Okay, just keep it cheap and cheerful, that's fine. Then you've got a War Boss. Oh, you've gone double Wyvern. Okay. What is the... Okay, you haven't taken Talisman of Protection at all here, which I think you absolutely could do. Right? Talisman of Protection is going to give you more bang for your buck. Oh, you've got it on the Troll Hag. Okay, my bad. So Troll Hag with Talisman of Protection with Battle Magic. Is it the General? No, it's a level 1 wizard with Battle Magic. War Magic. Troll Magic. I think it's very bold to have a single caster here being all of your big smarts. That makes me a little uncomfortable. I'd probably go to Troll Magic here as well. Just for the sake of safety. Just for the sake of safety. Weird Boy with Ruby Ring of Ruin, Troll Magic feels fine. Then you've got the Odd Knob level 4 with Isla Gork War Magic. That's a good caster. This is a really good Itchy Nuisance caster. And then 4 with War Magic is fine. And then we've got some goblins and you've got some orcs. Double giants. It really is Monster Mash. I feel like if you're going giants, this is where the value of having a high-level troll magic caster comes in, because if you get the rapid regeneration, suddenly that giant's got a 5-up, 5-up, and that's a real pain in the backside to deal with. Troll Pants, Wyvern's General. It does, but the aura that you get from the... I guess it doesn't matter, right? But because Big Smarts is an aura, it's within your command range. I know previously it was battle magic as opposed to troll magic. I'm actually going to make the change. I think this is more valuable because you're going to have the general in the sort of backfield, whereas the Wyverns are more likely to run off ahead. And actually, the Troll Hag is like significantly harder to kill with the 5-up ward and the double 5-up regen. This thing's a pain in the backside to deal with. I kind of feel like this would be better as an Orc Wizard. Like an Orc Wizard with, honestly, Lore Familiar. And then you can put them in with the Orc Mob and have the value there. Like, that's the way around I'd do it. And then you could still run the level 1 with the Idol of Gork if you wanted to, especially if you're playing with channeling dice. The potential to get a couple of Itchy Nuisances off with 2 channeling dice on average from a level 1 is pretty decent. I don't hate that at all. In fact, I'm actually just going to make that change. So we go Weird Knob, level 3. We don't need to be level 4. 1, Troll Magic, Lore Familiar. I don't know that we need anything else. Oh, we need the hat, right? We need the hat. So we'll give them the Thinking Orcs hat. So we don't have to put it on the unit. And then we've got the level... Ooh. Right, yes, of course. That conflicts because it's 0 to 1 War Boss or Weird Knob per 1,000 points. That's a bugger. That is a bugger. Okay, I don't really want to have to put those back in. Let me be lazy and go and find the initial list here. Download. Perfect. Let's just delete this. And then import Troll Liquor Anonymous. Honestly, I think double Troll Hag is better than double Wyvern, which is why I hadn't remembered that it comes, the level 4 conflicts with the War Boss. But I'm assuming there's some sort of like, this is the models that I have. It's for the end of the month. There's probably a level of you don't want to change too much there. So with that restriction, I guess this is fine. Although, like, I don't know how valuable War Magic is for this list, right? Vindictive Glare is really nice. Hand of Mork is really nice. Bad Moon Rising is mediocre because you're going to be pretty far back. You're going to be behind the trolls, that's for sure. Evil Sun Shining is fine, but again, it's command range. You might not be in range once the combat starts. Here We Go is not bad, and then Foot of Mork is bad. I've never seen Foot of Mork do anything other than harm its opponent. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've just imported this list. It's quite heavily under. Huh. Oh, just counts through 2, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fix this version of the list, but I'm going to say, if you have the option to do so, double Hag, single Wyvern, in my opinion, is going to be a better list. And then you go double Hag, single Wyvern, level 4 or level 3 Orc War Boss, level 1 or level 2 Goblin character, and then the rest of the list kind of stays the same. This unlocks Ravenous Recourse, Rapid Regeneration on the Giants, so they can get up the board. So, discussion at, what time is it? Roughly 1 hour in. I'll put that, and then we'll fix up this version of the list. So the Silvered Steel, I really don't like Silvered Steel. I don't think this is necessarily a good use of points. As aforementioned, things that are going to wound you, good AP in the game is AP 2 or better. So if you can just go straight for the Armor of Meteoric Iron, Boom. Job's a good one. I still don't mind the Charm Shield, so you get that once per game 5 at ward save. Honestly, now that you have to use it the first time, and like I think maybe I'm on the Enchanted Shield hype train here. I liked Charm Shield more when you could choose when to use it, but now you can't. I think just having the 6 of ward save against everything, against all the shooting, is probably better. Wait, this war boss didn't even have a weapon. You gotta give him a cavalry spear. Oh, wait, hold on. In the notes, as such, my general has a Flail of Rex and the Orc champ has a Ring of Doom. Right, that's why it's underrun points. Oh, no. Well done, me. Oh, okay, so Flail of Rex is how many points? 45, and the Orc champ has a Ring of Doom. Ring of Doom is 25, so that's 70 points under. So we actually have to be up 10 points. So this list doesn't change very much from here, I think. Sure. Honestly, if you're going Ring of Doom, do you also go... Infernal Familiar is not extremely common. That's the problem. Okay, yeah, let's just leave that for now then. This character here is the Meteoric Iron character. This is the heavy armor. Yeah, that's fine. Enchanted Shield. The fact that you can only take one with Trollhide Trousers, I really would lean away from the second war boss, I think. Warlord selling a dragon. Interesting. You know what? I'm kind of always I'm kind of always in the market for a new new dragon. How do I find their sales? Evening Nox Collector. If I just search dragon, is it going to come up? I feel like no. Oh, okay, that's nice. Is there a zoomed in version? The zoom didn't take me very far. I wonder what's the dimensions of the base here. What are the dimensions of the base? A circular 130 mil base. Okay, so this works for Warriors of Chaos for sure. I don't know that it's going to work for anyone who's still on the 60 mil wide base. Like, even with some creative positioning, you're going to struggle. But for Warriors of Chaos, that'll fit in. Cool. That's nice. I'll have to have a look at that. Is it resin or is it plastic? It is not saying. Hard plastic. I love a hard plastic dragon. There's a good amount of detail on there as well. If you're just, while we're talking, we've got completely sidetracked. If you're looking for dragons, Dungeons and Lasers have some fantastic dragons, and they're also very, very reasonably priced. Actually picking up the models can be a little bit difficult. There are more UK retailers than there were before, but let me just have a quick look here. Yeah. Great. Why is there so much effort to use the internet? Okay, so the dragons that you see here, these things are fantastic. I'm a really big fan of this one. Draculus the Cunning, when he loads up here. Look at that. What a dragon. These are hard plastic, and there's a lot of detail on there. And also, 29 quid. I think when I've bought mine, I've got mine for all about 26 quid. So, like, real budget, really good scale on there. But all of them are really good. Oh, hey, you want Mao Ying, but you don't want to spend 100 quid? Boom. Origin the Denouncer. Nice. Just a great dragon. The ones that I own, I physically own this one, although I don't know what I've done with that, actually. That's a good point. I should find where I think I've built this and then just put it somewhere, and I can't remember what I've done with it. So I've got the 5-headed Chaos Dragon, which would work pretty well for something. I've got the Wyvern, which I used for my, whatchamacallit, my Wood Elves, which is taking a while to load. This one here, I really like as a foresty dragon. And then I've also got I think maybe it was. This is the other one that I have. Durkar the Sovereign Serpent. That doesn't seem right. I've got another one of the more standard dragons, but I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. Maybe it is that one. I'm not sure. Not really sure. Anyway, let's get back to your regularly scheduled programming. What's the temp in the UK? It's not too bad now. We're only at like 25 degrees here. Although, because my flat is southwest facing, if I didn't have the AC on, it would be about 40. That's only a very minor exaggeration. But it's been up to 30 today. It's down to 24, I think, tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. Yeah. So, back to this list. I would recommend changing the War Boss to another Troll Hag if you can, because this one's going to run around without the durability that you get from being in Troll Horde. But otherwise, I think it's fine. And then you just have 10 points or 12 points to spend here. So I guess... I mean, I understand why you've gone for the Spider Banner, but I would just change this over to the Monster Hunter Tapestry. Like, it's just such a good... Like, it's so consistent, right? And then, honestly, do we pay for Biggins as well? It's 50 points. That doesn't feel worthwhile. There's so many points to make in Biggins. This unit here... Definitely a musician. Always a musician. The question becomes, do we give him a War Banner? Probably not bothered about the light armor, but I'd probably go for a War Banner. So you could go to... and then we drop one down here, we drop one down here, and then 70 points to spend. That looks good there. The 70 points spent, just for anyone, because obviously I've been in and out, one of the characters has the new flail, and one of them has a the new Doombolt magic missile ring. Alright. Okie dokie. Let's have a look at your list, Logan. Some exiles, 750 points. The note here is, I have no idea what I'm doing. Very nice. You cut musicians so they can be 5 wide with character and still put 2 skulkers in the front rank. Okay, fair. That makes sense. That does make sense. Fair. Yeah, I'm not going to go back and undo that, but that actually, now you say that, I do get it. I'm not 100% sold on skulkers in general, but if you're doing that, then that is a good way to do it. Hey, Mug. Okay, so you've got a Barded Pegasus, Syrian's Locket, great weapon character. So, what is the Helm of Courage? I don't remember what that does at all. Helm of Courage. It's one of the new items. Improves their armor by 1, and you can reroll the break test once per game. Okay, but +1 to your armor save is just really good for you there. The question is, would it be better to... Because this gives you a 2-up save, right? It gives you a 2-up save against shooting. Heavy armor, shield, barding, Helm of Courage. So you got a 2-up save against shooting, so you can fly around with 4 wounds at T4 with a 2-up save. Okay, I don't hate that. That's not bad. Syrian's Locket gives you immune to multiple wounds. How much multiple wounds are you expected to see at 750 points? I guess if you see a cannon and you don't have that, you just lose the game. You've got Pegasus Knights as well, so you can just be in the unit, although Lookouts will not function. Band of Renown, that's the +1 combat res on 1 combat, right? Yes, it is. Full command there. I mean, this looks good. I think actually the Baron is lacking damage, although, are you running it around as a solo piece more than running it with the Pegasus? It's not attached. You're not attached. No, I like the item. I'm thinking, because you've got the Pegasus Knights, you could put the Baron in the unit and just go like into damage. How cheap? I guess the problem is it's 130 points baseline for this, and like the Knightly Virtues, they're too pricey, aren't they? There's not really anything here that would work. It's the lance that gives you rerolls to hit, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it's maybe I'm talking on my backside. Is that an Errantry Crusade item? I feel like it's an Errantry Crusade item. Magic items. Furious Charge. You don't even get... Oh, yeah, Furious Charge and Hatred. That's what I'm thinking of. But 60 points. In my head, it was like 30 points. This is not the one. So let's go back to what you have. Lance plus Virtue of the Joust. El Clasico. That is El Clasico. I actually don't hate this. Like, as a solo character that flies around, you've only got 4 attacks at Strength 6 AP2. But you've got a 2-up save against shooting. You've got a 3-up save in combat. You're pretty beefy. Like, it's a lot of mobility there. The question that I'm wondering is, what about this is better as an Exiles list? I actually don't see any reason at all to run this as Exiles. If you ran it, like, I know you've got the Flame Strike Wand in here, which is an Exiles only item for the once per game Fireball, which is fine. But honestly, I'd probably just change the Sacramental Lady and the Flame Strike Wand for like a Ruby Ring of Ruin and change this over to Grand Army. Because then you've got the ward save on these Knights of the Realm, you've got the ward save on the Pegasus Knights, you've got the ward save on the Baron. Only 4 attacks. We Empire players open a champagne when something in our roster has 4 attacks. Honestly, the Cackling Blade's doing a lot of work for the less physically able human factions. I did Grand Army at first. I wasn't kidding when I said it. I like the list. I think generally what you've gone for is pretty good. Like, I sort of had quibbles about this at first, and I was like, actually, no, this makes sense. I like it. I think I literally would just change it to be Grand Army. So if I just put it together here. Also, you've got the lady on the horse. I think maybe you just put them on foot. You're losing veteran, which is nice to have, but you're gaining a ward save. Out of the 2 of those, I'd much rather have the ward save. Inarguably, so make him skirmishers. I think you had a villain in there, but you don't need that. We'll just see how the points shake out. Let's go 5 with... Have I messed up? Have I not made this... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Good job that we can change it. So let's give them the banner of the... give this unit the banner of renown so that they can maybe win a fight. Let's make them 6 models. Let's go the Baron with your build, because I think, in retrospect, it's a good build. You could go Lance as well, but because this character's running around on their own, it's more likely to be something that you just go, I'm going to chuck them into a long fight and get the value that way. So I don't hate them having a great weapon, even though that's very different to what you normally see. God, there's so many items here for Battle March. Helm of Courage, there we go. Sweet. And then the Damsel on Foot. And you could go Lore Familiar. No, Power Scroll. Ooh, wait, hold on. What if we went... So you wanted, like, you had the Sacrament for the better dispel. Oh no, the better cast once per game. Sorry. What were you? A level 2 wizard, level 2 battle magic, right? So you were planning on casting the one of the signature spells, I guess, like the plus regen. Yeah, I don't think you need to. Like the regen would be nice to have, but it's also so easy to get rid of that I think. If we're doing this, like if we wanna meme a little bit, you could go level 2 battle magic, hope to roll into your magic missile, pair it with the I need to remember the names of these items. Where's it gone? Where's the ring? It's not a ring, is it? It's bollocks. Infernal Familiar. Is that not on here? Ooh, it's not on there for some reason. That is any arcane item, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put a 25-point magic weapon on here. That obviously isn't the case because it's actually the The Infernal Familiar. That's the thing we're looking for. And then the other item is the ring, the enchanted ring, which is the... Is that not in here as well? Have they just not been added? Am I being really stupid? I think I'm just being really stupid. They're not in, are they? Yeah, I know they're not in. All right. So we're going Ring of Doom and Infernal Familiar, and then you've got 2 Doom Bolts guaranteed, and you might have a Fireball as well. Yeah. Oh, meant to be Illusion. Okay, Illusion I could see. Illusion's not bad. But I think this is also just like so much pressure. And then you could probably just drop the Musician. It's nice to have, but you probably don't need it. And it's 750 points. I kind of feel comfortable with the Pegasus Knights running around on their own, and you can, duo them up with the Baron if you need to. But yeah, like the list, it's basically the same as what you had. I'm just tweaking the Damsel and adding 1 more Knight of the Realm because you didn't have the Knight. I'm dropping the horse from her. So yeah, it looks good. I like it. But 99% of the way there, I reckon, Logan. Nice. Also, Peasant Bowman shooting is just really good in general. It's even gooder at small points levels. The one thing I would say, the one reason you might have to do Exiles, was you could take a unit of Mounted Yeomen. They are really good, in my mind, because you have built-in reserve move, and you've got, the same short bow. So theoretically, maybe I'd go as, like, no Peasant Bowman, a unit of Knights of the Realm, and then just Mounted Yeoman spam. Maybe that would be a way to play Exiles, but that sounds pretty miserable to play against. All right. That's a good one. Flying Pigs and Pig Knight Halflings, here we come. Hell yeah, that sounds like a great time. Okay, let's have a look at Max Pounder's Warriors of Chaos, and I definitely need to look at the context for this one because it's too long to fit in the notes. Let's have a look at this essay. List which is focused around Knights and Warriors and Demonic Mounts, not sure on the double cannons. Warrior Block and Knights are mandatory for a themed list, sure. No dragons, no gigantic spawns, possible to have Dragon Ogres. Chaos Lord tempted to have the armor to protect against multiple wounds. Alright, let's have a look here. So, triple mount, Chaos Warriors, Knights, Chosen Knights, Hell Cannons. So this is... What did he say about the cannons? Not sure about the double cannons. Hell Cannons are one of the few units in the game. I've talked about this, right? You can write a 2,000 point list or 2,200 whatever, and not... Like, it doesn't matter too much that you put the giant in, right? It's an inefficient choice, but it's not going to harm too much. The Hell Cannon is one of the few units in the game that will actively just fucking ruin your time. And, like, if you don't mind the chance that it'll just kill your own stuff by blowing up in the backfield and you'll not get any value out of it, that's fine. But it is so punishing if it goes wrong. However... There's no dragons, no gigantic spawn. Possible to have Dragon Ogres. That's 430 points that we can free up here. But I don't know what to put in. So I can't put a Warpfire Dragon in. I can't put a giant spawn in. And I can't upgrade any of the characters to have any of that. So, what do we do? Like, obviously you said Dragon Ogres. So maybe the solution is like a brick of Dragon Ogres and a Shartak, like that could be, in terms of like spending the points, that's not awful. It gets you still some good punch. God, that Shaggoth's so expensive. Maybe we don't even go for the Shaggoth. Maybe we just go for 2 units of 3 on the Dragon Ogres like this, and then you've got some more pressure, because this is like really a pressure list, right? They've all got Dark Hearts. Dark Hearts is the one that makes you -1 leadership, right? I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, that's cool. Alright, so with the restrictions we have here, I would love to have a foot wizard in with the warriors. I feel like this is the unit that needs them the most, but if you're not doing that, what have we got? We've got Taskmaster Scourge, we've got Hand Weapon Shield, Undivided, Enhanced Reflexes. Honestly, if you're doing it, this is the way to do it. Like, this is a very budget unit. I don't hate this at all. I might be tempted. My little favorite trick here is to go for that extra one model to put you in marching column, because this unit probably doesn't care too much about charging. It is a better infantry unit, so maybe you do care about charging a little bit, but I would say maybe don't even worry about that too much. But we'll leave it like this for now. You've got Monster Hunter Tapestry in the list, which is good, but I think whatever unit your Chaos Lord goes in probably wants to have the Monster Hunter Tapestry, because then you're allowed to go toe-to-toe with an enemy. Right, okay, so I would say you've gone for, like, a tank build. Yeah. I don't think you need to go for a tank build on, like, you're a 2-up, you're T5, you've got a 2-up save, you've got 5 wounds, and you've got a 5-up ward save already. I don't think you need to lean more into tank on this character. I think you need to lean more into damage, so I really do believe in the Ogre Blade character. I generally don't bother with extra arm, but you haven't got a dragon, so you need to get the damage from somewhere. Sure, let's go for it. Then we've got the Exalted Champion with BSB, War Banner, Great Weapon, Shield, Everlasting Conquest, Favor of the Gods. Looks good. I'm going to go a second Favor of the Gods, and I'm going to change Everlasting Conquest to Carrion Crow, just because I dropped the Carrion Crow from the last one there, so that makes sense. Perfect. Do we want War Banners or anything else that's better? Honestly, you haven't got Totem of Wrath anywhere in the list. Like, if you're really trying to just run someone over, Totem of Wrath is so key to doing so, in my mind. Like, all of your attacks are going to be wounding on 2s into a lot of things, so you'll get a lot of value there. Okay. With that in mind, I think this Standard Bearer and the Chosen gets the Monster Hunter Tapestry. The Warriors have to make do with just a War Banner. But then, if you've got this unit here with the Monster Hunter Tapestry and you put the Chaos Lord in there, this character can challenge a dragon and win fights. It's that beefy, especially when it's comboed with the Demonology. Oh, you've got Dark Magic. Okay, interesting. Spell Familiar Wand of Jet. Huh. With Dark Magic. I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that at all, to be honest. I'm not sure what the job... Like, is the job of this character just to cast Battle Lust, but do it well? Like, if you're doing that, honestly, just go Mark of Tzeentch, give this unit Mark of Tzeentch that it's joining, drop the Wand of Jet, you've got the same effect. I know the Wand of Jet gives you +1 to Dispel as well, but I'm really not sold on this, because if you roll a double, you just lose the effect of it. Like, just Mark of Tzeentch and a Power Scroll does a lot more for you. Or even Tome of Spellcraft, honestly. Tome of Spellcraft for the reroll is really good on getting those higher casting value spells off. I favour that over Wand of Jet, and especially if you can combo it with the +1 to cast from somewhere else. Yeah. And then we've got, like, one of the units here has Mark of Tzeentch that you can join. Just play around with where this is going, depending on where you see it to go. I personally don't like Dark Magic here. I don't feel like this is doing what I want it to do. I'd rather go for the Demonology Wizard, but I'm not going to change it around because I feel like you've got a game plan for it there. On top of that, I guess maybe, like, I wouldn't mind having... what are we missing? This has got nothing, this has got nothing. This unit should have a unit champion, because if the wizard's joining it... In fact, both of them... I'm assuming you're putting, like, one character attached to each unit of knights. That's the theme. So you should always have a character protecting them. That would be my suggestion there. This unit always has drilled. It does not need enhanced reflexes for a hand weapon plus initiative. They're going to be running around with their lancers. They're going to be counter-charging, so that's fine. Like, it's fine for subsequent rounds, but you're going to have some sort of, like, absolute beta attached to it, so you don't need it. Yeah, okay, so within the realm of what we've got here, and then we just drop that, and then we can go up to, like, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Slightly over. Slightly over. You drop extra arm and put an extra model in, but I don't really want to do that. So I think it just comes down to like what do we spend the last 25 points on, or do we find a few extra points in the list? We could find the extra points and just go enchanting aura here. Yeah. And then we're 10 points over and we have to drop like one Chaos Warrior, something like that. That feels fine. I don't know. 5 points somewhere. Unit champion gets a charm shield. Something like that. There aren't any brazen collars in this list, which you could go back and add in for sure. Yeah. All right, we'll go with this. But yeah, I'm not. I think this is difficult with the restrictions you've put in. I think you can play around the restriction of mainly focus around knights and warriors. I think that's fine. Not having the gigantic spawn is fine. Not then having dragons as well, I think makes it very difficult to get a lot of pressure out of the unit there. So I'll just put discussion at what was it, roughly 1 hour, 20 mins ish. There we go. Something along those lines. Yeah. Cool. All right, so that's another Warriors of Chaos list done. We've got 2 lists that aren't Warriors of Chaos and 1 that is. So let's have a look at more Empire Rumors Empire. I took this list to an RTT the week before and it performed abysmally. I don't have any more war machines. This is my whole machine park, but have some light cav and characters. Oh, you're there in chat. Fantastic. Appreciate the help. Just bored of dragons and spawn. That's fine. As long as you're like aware of the restrictions you're in, like make it harder to do well. I think that's fine. What I would say is, since you're here, I think consolidating your threats a little bit more. Like I see that you obviously Battle Lust for Dark Magic makes sense, but I think if you go Demonology, because you can't cast Battle Lust on something that's in combat. Maybe Battle Lust actually makes sense in this list. Like normally it doesn't, but because you've got so many fast units with the knights, maybe you get some value out of it there. Yeah, I'd be keen to see how that goes. I would be keen to see how that goes. All right, so back to Empire. What have we got here? So this is the list that was played but didn't do well. Okay. So the baseline is fine. You've got the 1 big unit of Outriders with veteran Outriders. Very good. You've got the big unit of 28 state troops, shields, 5 state missile troops. I'm not a huge fan of the steam tank. It's fine, but is what it is. I would prefer more artillery, but you said you haven't got more artillery. And then the road wardens as well are solid. I maybe wouldn't bother with Feign Flight, but it's not bad to have. Like, for 96 points for 4 models, I guess I can't really quibble. So, like, everything here and below looks fine. So, what else have we got? We've got an engineer on foot. I would not play this, unfortunately. I love the War Wagon, but just, like, post-Cathay, the arms race of how much pressure you need to put out with your, models in a pre-Cathay land, or in a world where we're just pretending Cathay doesn't exist, I like it. But the meta is so spiky, right? That's the change. That's the main thing that's changed over the last year. The meta is so spiky that I don't feel like units like that have a huge place. I love them, but I'm not sure you're going to get massive value out of it. I'd go for another foot engineer. And then I guess you're just looking for something. Like, if you're looking for something to roadblock, I don't think that's bad for this list. But I'd go for a general on a griffin as a roadblock. I think that gives you a lot more. It also ties up things with stomps better because it's a monster. So you've got the Monster Tapestry on foot. Captain, we should give this at least a charmed shield alongside the heavy armor there. Like so. But otherwise, that looks solid. Then you've got this captain, which is going with the unit. Squintoffins, double brace. Sure. I'd maybe go for the handgun, but you're taking the penalty for moving and shooting, so maybe it's not worthwhile. Maybe you just go for the brace of pistols. And then Wizard Staff Demonology. I think like going heavier into this for more ranged pressure is probably fine as well. So then we could also go General of the Empire, like Lance, Shield, Griffin, and go... What are we looking forward to here? Twice Blessed Armor, and also the... White Cloak, I guess, is the obvious thing to put in. Brain turned off for a second. We're a lot of points over. Why are we so many points over? Like, this is... I guess... Yeah, we go for a single one of those. Take this off like that. Like so. And then shave some points. Question mark, question mark. Maybe we just shave the Feign Flight off. I like it, but, you know, we've got to cut points somewhere. And we're still 25 points over. Like, I think this list is fine. Like, I don't actually think you need to make too many changes to it. I think it might just be... You mentioned that you had some poor rolls, and when you're playing a gun line... That's a big thing. Oh, you know what, actually? Let's not go for that. Let's go for hands. I think hands is probably going to be the one thing you can put in your list to like boost your win rate the easiest, more than anything else. Because getting that additional +1 to go first means you've got pretty consistently the first turn. Although by adding the steam tank, you harm that a little bit because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops plus ambushes. But yeah, hands is fine, and then we can just go back up to, let's say, 28 models here. I guess it's only 26. But yeah, like I don't think the list is bad. You probably just needed to shoot more gooder, and maybe you just haven't reached the critical mass of shooting that you need to win games with this style of list, because you kind of just need to be able to like basically threaten to table your opponent. So that might be the issue. Like, I'm looking at the list and it all makes sense to be, but maybe you just need to have more guns. That might be the sort of long and short of it, basically. Yeah, like maybe 4 Hellblaster volley guns. I don't know if that's correct, but I don't know that it's not correct. You know what I'm saying? You drop these two. What does that list look like? Now that I've linked it, let's just like fill out how it would look. This is a really dull list, by the way. This is kind of one of the main reasons I think nobody talks about it, because like it's not fun. You're like, I can just ring more shooting than you. Neato. Go down to like this, and then we need a third engineer, so we'd have to go down to 20 models, at which point the Griffin standard's not super worthwhile, so I'd probably just go War Banner or something like that. And then back up to 23. Yeah. Like this might be the solution. Also, like, maybe more character shooting. Honestly, like, how low could we go? So you maybe go up to, like, 15 models here. And then this goes down to, like, just bare min, and you don't even run this. You just run the minimum. So your 50.8 points are missing. The archers don't have... No, they don't. That's wrong. What else? I guess we just go... You just, like, hit the bare minimum, at which point, like, if we're doing 15 with a standard, that's 14 with a standard? It's fine. Or like 13 plus musician. No, I think I like 14 with the standard more. Like, I'm not in love with it. But then we've gone triple engineer, 4 Hellblaster polyguns, 3 cannons, 15 outriders. We drop the bracer pistols here because it's an inefficient use of points. And we take off the squint offense here and we put it on the Master Mage. Because the Master Mage... Oh, no, it's 35 points. We don't have points to do that. Bugger. Okay. So we go... Oh, this character doesn't need to exist. This one here, sorry, the BSB, the Monster Hunter Tapestry, that doesn't need to exist. At which point you're like... a Witch Hunter. Like, if we're doing this, let's make sure that you're able to deal with all of the things... So you'll go, okay, let's put Von Trick Shots in this unit, give them Mark the Demon, and we're still keeping General Hands because you have to go first, but we want to get like a ruby ring in there as well. You just really lean into the shooting, you know, like this, and then you're 1 point over, so we have to shave a point somewhere. Oh, we definitely don't need the war banner on this model. I'd rather just have bodies as opposed to, yeah, something like this. No worries, Hemog. Glad you were here for it. Like I say, this is not a particularly interesting thing. In fact, you know what? We could drop this down. We could go to like 14 and then up this to 7. No, 16. All right, we'll just go back to where we were. I'm trying to be too cute just to get an extra couple of shots in that don't actually make a difference. Yeah, like that. That's fine. This would probably be the way that I'd skew it. I'm gonna link it. I'm not recommending you play this. It seems pretty dull. Like maybe it's like a once per thing and you see how it goes, but just bringing as much. I just forgo vets. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can just go for the regular ones. Like, but you like this doesn't matter too much because you're basically just going. I'm taking the biggest unit of Outriders I feel comfortable with, and then I'm filling the points on one unit after that. So yeah, probably just regular state troops instead of the veterans. Keeps it a little bit cheaper. Yeah, and then you just go. Here is as many points I can spend on artillery. We've got the +1 to go first, captain. We've then got as many shooting pieces as possible. So we've got the trick shot and we've got the Ring of Ruin. I think you could probably fit more in, honestly. I think you could fit in a whole lot more character shooting. I'm just not 100% sure what I would do to make it work. But yeah. Anyway, that's the other one there. That's the yes, I see you go first. Let me just pick up your opponent, your army from across the board. Or I see you have Chalice of Dark Rain. Good game, sir. Anyway, so let's move on from the sadness that is Nuln. Nick S is playing Royal Clans. Some non-standard objectives. King the Hill with Banner Strength scoring the hill. Chance encounter with Baggage Train Domination. Nick. You're going to Gomo's event, the event in Australia. How do I know this? Because I have worked this week with an Australian chap who is also going to that event, and I recognise this event pack. Occupiable tower in the centre for round 5. Unit strength 20 with a single character in the tower. This one I need to think about a bit more, but I will look to get Iron Drakes in there if possible with a Gunthane. Just something tanky in there is fine, I think. There is a fun strategy for that one, but I'm not going to leak it because that was something that I worked on with my coaching student, and we talked about. I don't want to just like throw that out into the world. So here we have Longbeards, like full commit Longbeards with great weapon shields, Rune of Battle, Hesitation. Hesitation is the initiative bonus, right? Disorder charge. Oh, no, it's choosing the weapon or special rules. Okay, so that's really nice. Confusion. Yeah, that's the other one. Then you've got the Thane with Grugny Field Battle, great weapon, full plate, shield bearers, preservation, Stone Fury. Okay. Stone is reroll 1 armor save? Sure. I don't have any strong feelings on that. In fact, I do. Just give him Gromrel, right? We've got the... Oh, 40 points too many. Oh, wow, we're going heavy on points here for characters. Let's have a look. What do we got? Got the King with 2 Furies, 1 Preservation, and Smiting. Okay, so this is like the full output character. Then you've got the Thane, BSB, also on Shield Bearers, with as tanky as possible, still an extra attack. I don't know that I care about the Rune of Fury on there. I do like Fear in Battle, though. I think your banner choice is very good. Then you've got the Rune Lord, great weapon, full plate, shield, 2 times Rune Spellbreaking, Rune of Passage. That's a good loadout. Then you've got the Thane. I do think the handgun is better than the crossbow. This is like, it doesn't really make a difference in terms of points or anything, but I feel like handgun just gets you more. I know it's got a shorter range, but actually having AP on there does make a huge difference a lot of the time, I find. Royal Clan Warriors for a secondary scoring unit. Dwarf Cart, Iron Drakes, Doomseeker. It looks good. I actually don't really have many notes for this, so let me just think about how this would play. King of the Hill, it plays very well. Obviously, you're just putting your Death Star on the hill. You're hoping to get there first. If you don't, you'll charge someone who's on the hill. You'll get the points. Round 2, chance encounter with Baggage Train and Domination. You're going to struggle with Domination. You're not a good Domination list, so you're just going to try and like go even with your opponent if possible, and that's probably fine. Round 3 kill points you are very good on because people don't want to try and crack the nut that is your like massive Death Star. Round 4 is Strat 3 Baggage Train. That one you might struggle a little bit with. But the Royal Clan unit doesn't have a banner, does it? No, good. Good. Because you wanna have as low banners as possible because you get a lot of points per banner killed in round 3. And then round 5, Occupiable Tower. Probably the Iron Drakes. I don't love that. I don't love the Iron Drakes going in there. But I also don't know that building the list around it is what you want to do. Like, this unit has Drilled. If you could give it Vanguard as well, you'd have to drop Battle or Fear. You could be 15 inches up the board. I don't think that matters. No. All right, yeah. I don't think I've got any changes for this list. Like, this makes sense. I'm not a big Doomseeker fan, personally, but they do have some real pressure, that's for sure. Being able to just send this into whoever's holding the tower and, Whirl and Dervish is not awful. Not awful. The Royal Clan Warriors, which are very tanky because they've got the Grummel armor, and then they've got the AP1 on their Strength 3 hand weapons is quite nice as well. You've paid for all the things here. Would I pay for everything here? Honestly, I'm not sure I'd pay for Drilled. I think you could save points on Drilled. But I'm not sure how much that matters. Yeah. Honestly, this is fine. Like, I don't really have any complaints about this. Maybe I would go up to 17 models here. So you could be... Because the thing about Drilled is you can get where you want to be, but you might just get charged, depending on how aggressive your opponent is. So if this unit goes to 17, you can keep them with the Drilled if you want to. Although you could drop it to free up some points, and then you just, like, drop some Longbeards to get there, so you go down to, like, 21. You've still got all the characters in there, so it doesn't make any real difference. Oh, I definitely put a musician in there as well. Yeah. Unless you're thinking of going, like, Rune Lord with the Warriors or something like that, not putting the musician in, so you could go King Thane and then have, like, be 6 wide. 26 plus 4 plus 4, so that's 34, which is not anything divisible by 6. I don't know. Not really sure on that one. Not really sure on that one. Kind of energy dwarves for the best shooting character in the game. They do have that, but they have nothing else. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But yeah, I'm not gonna put a list across there, Nick, because I don't think there's really anything that I would change. Discussion at what time was it? Roughly 1 hour 40 minutes ish. What I added to that, I don't want envy them for anything else. I think that is fair. That is fair. It's a shame that the rune system exists, but they're not supporting it. Like, they haven't had anything new for... When did the Dwarf Arcane Journal come out? Wasn't it, like, in the summer of the first year? So they haven't had anything new for 2 years, I think? No, that's not true. They have had new stuff, it's just bad. Like the Slayer Army. I forgot that they had the Slayer Army of Infamy. Which I'm sure in Games Workshop heads like, oh no, we're doing stuff specifically for them. They can't complain. They haven't given them anything good in a while. That's for sure. You felt like if you said that you didn't envy them for anything else, you'd get written in the book. That is probably true. Probably true. All right. Let's have a look now at the final list for the evening, which is Mancamore's Wolves of the Sea. Let's just find the context to this one. Mancamore. Got a game this Sunday, 2,500 points. Do not know if we'll be using the channeling, but it shouldn't really impact both of the lists. Exalted Champion goes in the Huskarls, Sorcerer Vanguard with the Marauder Horseman to harass the flanks. The rest of the list is rather straightforward. So no Dragon Ogres, unfortunately. I have yet to get some. That's fine. That's fine. Guess what else we got for all the players? New magic system. Yeah, like I think dwarves are meant to be able to use the channeling, and I think they just dropped an oopsie fucko there. All right, so this is Wolves of the Sea. It's double spawn and Nurgle. It's a brick of Huskarls with Totem of Wrath, magic resist as well. There's 4 skin wolves in there, and then characters. You've got a Cackling Blade demonic mount character. Cool. I don't. Oh no, Flail of Rex. Ignore me. Flail of Rex is good. Like honestly, maybe this is the build. Maybe I've been putting Ogre Blade on people's lists because I didn't. When the item's not in front of me, you do forget about it a little bit. But honestly, maybe it's just Flail of Rex plus the like regen item instead of Ogre Blade. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's a little bit gooder. So yeah, this build's good. I'm still not sold that extra arms are necessary, but like I guess if you're not running a dragon, it's fine. Okay. So like these 2 characters make sense to me. What the hell is the Exalted Sorcerer doing? Longstriders is Vanguard. Marker Inch is Marker Inch. Demonic Mount is Demonic Mount. Lore of the Shadowlands gives you a magic missile, a blast template magic missile, strength 4 AP3 with a scatter. You've got blackened bolts that you could roll into. Ward save, vortex, regen. Like I don't know that. Like, do I care about what you're getting here from Lord of the Shadows? I don't know that I don't care. And then you've got Ring of Doom in there as well. Wait, why is Ring of Doom 50 points? Oh, because there's also... Where is it? Why can I not see... Am I being really stupid? I wasn't scrolled up enough. God, I'm so tired. Yeah, okay, so this is the triple magic missile model. Okay, I kind of like that. You're going to go... I guess you're going to go for... Is Fireball better than Doombolt? Yes. Is Firebolt better than Blackened Bolts? Yes, I would say. Is there anything else that you will take in this case? The reserve move's cool, but I don't think it's relevant. Like, I'd probably just go Battle Magic. I personally think Battle Magic is more useful here. But I guess maybe it just gives you the option to go for another small blast template, which is funny. It's a short range, though. Like, Blackened Bolt being 18-inch range is actually anti-synergy with the rest of your items, because Doombolt is 24 inches. So if you go Battle Magic, you can try and roll into Fireball. If you don't roll Fireball, it's fine, because you're taking Pink Fire from Tzeentch, or Blue Fire from Tzeentch, sorry, and then you're also taking Doombolt from the Infernal Familiar. So, like, there's no actual real risk there. Yeah, I'd just go Battle Magic. Okay, that makes sense. And then you've got in the core 25 Marauders with Monster Hunter Tapestry, Unnatural Fortitude, Brazen Collar. Great, love it. Berserkers. Sure, yeah. I have no complaints there. Then you've got 6 Horsemen, another 8 Berserks, and the Warhounds. Like, I think the thing that here I don't care about is the Warhounds. What if you just dropped them and went heavier on the ambush? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ambushes. So the things that you have to drop, you've got the Spawn, the Skin Wolves, the Marauder Huskarls for 4. You've got the unit of Marauders for 5, and then you've got the characters for 6. Is there a way to get that down? Like, I feel like the Skin Wolves don't actually add much here. 7, or Zuho, 7-0. The way that this works is there's a Discord linked in the description box down below, and join the Discord. And on a Friday morning at around 10 a.m. BST, I will open the Fix My List channel, and I'll at everyone to let them know that the list submissions are open. You can submit your list, and channel members get priority, but if you're in early, you'll probably get seen. And I try to add some variety, so anyone whose list was looked at on the last stream gets lower priority than people who didn't have that, to try and make sure that even if you're not a channel member, you've got a higher chance of getting your list looked at there. I think this is interesting, this Exalted Sorcerer. Like, I don't love the Skin Wolves. I don't think the Skin Wolves are doing it for me. I'm going to be quite just like sort of just straight to it and cut them. And let's put more ambush in, and then the ambushes can also double up as a screen for the Exalted Sorcerers. I think that's the way that I would do this. So I'd probably just go like this and... Ooh. Oh no, I pressed delete instead of duplicate. Bugger. There we go. So this was a unit of 8. And we don't need the command. So honestly, we could just go like that for the unit of 8. And go like 2 of those. And then 2 of them are all horsemen. With flail, ambush, skirmishes, and natural fortitude. Honestly, I don't hate the throwing axes on these. They're fine. Maybe just go slightly bigger on these. It doesn't actually make a difference. So this could go to 16. Then you got 5 points for something. I don't know, like a charmed shield on the unit champion feels fine as well. Or is there anything else that we want to put in here? This character could go for 1 more favor of the gods, I guess. No, you're capped out. You're capped out. Have you got a shield? You've got a shield. This Chaos Lord is capped out as well, I think. It is capped out. Mark and Nurgle on that. I wouldn't mind a Mark and Nurgle on the Exalted Champion as well. Which we could do... We've got points and characters for it, so that's fine. And then we drop, like, back down to 16 here. And then you've got 7 points. And I guess we just say... YOLO. What do we add? Like, throwing axes on this unit is fine. Just gives them something to do. Like, it's not important, but for 7 points, you might march and shoot with them. Skin Wolves are cool, though, in theory. Yeah. No, I agree. They are cool. I just don't think they add to the list. I think this list wants to go first. And if you can drop down to only 6 drops at 2,500 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it might be 5.
7 Ed does a coaching too. I'm living proof. Thumbs up emoji. Thumbs up emoji.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. I do indeed do coaching. You will join the Discord and join the content a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it feels a little bit late in the video to do all my normal plugging, but, you know, all the stuff that I do is down in the description for anyone who's interested. Coaching, referral links, yada yada. Tell you what I will do, because he's here's the secret. Referral links are not something that will make you money as a YouTuber unless you're a very big YouTuber. But I have a referral link for Beowulf Miniatures 3D prints. I held off from doing anything with him for a long time because I didn't know him. And now that I've talked to him and I like him, I was like, yeah, screw it. Let's do this referral link thing. But also, he just keeps coming into my stream and dropping gifted subs, which is like the best referral link you can have as a small YouTuber. So this is one of the only referral links that has been worth doing, which I do appreciate. So with that in mind, even if I'm not plugging my own stuff properly, I should plug his. And if you want 3D prints here in the UK, you can go to beowulfminiatures.com or .co.uk and use the code CLOSEORDER with no spaces to get 10% off. His sculpts are good quality. Not sculpts, his prints are good quality, as you'd expect. I mean, like, hey, I buy a product, it is good. But I've used a chunk of his stuff and it's got good durability, and I'm rough with my models. Cool. Well, that takes us to the end of the stream. Let me just share that one. This is a cool list. I like the idea here. I love that people have gone kind of like Demonic Mount crazy. And that's fun. That's a lot of fun. But, yeah, perfect. All right. Well, that's that for me. There will be either a video or a YouTube short tomorrow. There'll be a video or YouTube short depending on which way around I do it. There's a video and a YouTube short coming this weekend. Sorry, I'll be back for Mediocre Monday on Monday with some sort of. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it'll be something. You're welcome. Appreciate you all. And yeah, then back to Lewis's last podcast episode for a while, because obviously he's going to be taking a break, given that he has major life events that are way more important than just, coming on and talking about Warhammer for a bit. So yeah, have a great weekend. Hope you're all doing well, and see you in the not too distant future.